For this episode, I'm going to count down the top 5 Tommy Jarvis moments in the Friday the 13th movies, in celebration of Friday the 13th.
Does he think I'm a farthead?
Elsa's been sick. She has a viral infection in her eye, so now she has to wear this cone, and I've been taking care of her all week, otherwise I would have had this video out on time. I just want everyone to know what's going on. If you want to wish Elsa well, she's having a hard time in the cone. I've been giving her eye drops and taking care of her. Ooh, she's a good girl. So, it doesn't mean we can't still celebrate the day.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think people like horror movies so much? Like, why are they drawn to them? What's your opinion about that?
I have no idea. Maybe the suspense, or I don't know. That's a good question. Because we're all twisted and demented. You know, it's a great way. It's an escape from your normal life, and it's a fantasy, I guess.
We already answered that question. Remember, it was.
Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.
Thank you for clicking on my video. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate that you did. aka Mr. FLIXTER, and I'm here to talk motion pictures. Mr.
Whoa, world. I'm just catching up on the Tommy Jarvis trilogy from my wee reel. My daddy didn't waste no fool. Do I look like I was born yesterday?
Because of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, right in the middle of the franchise. Okay, kind of in the middle. But anyways, Tommy Jarvis is arguably the most popular character from Friday the 13th, aside from Jason himself.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
And for these moments, these are the most memorable moments for me from those movies. Like, when I think of Tommy Jarvis, these are the things I think of automatically. But let's face it, he's got a lot of good moments.
Watch out, Andy Barkley. You've got some competition.
So that's why this video was in tribute to him. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below and we can talk about it.
How many other Friday the 13th characters have a whole trilogy named after them?
Let's get started. At number 5, I have the Random Fistfights from A New Beginning, Part 5. In this one, Tommy Jarvis is played by Tom Shepard. Although the tone of this film and the performances are all over the place, because the story is just a mess, the highlight of my least favorite Friday the 13th film is Tommy Jarvis fearlessly kicking ass and taking names. Look at him go. And number 4,
The Peeping Tom scene. Legendary child actor Corey Feldman originated the role. So, given the character's age, this is most likely young TJ's first time seeing a naked woman in person that isn't his mom or his sister. And can you blame him? Look at how excited he is. What straight little boy wouldn't be having a field day accidentally stumbling upon gold like this? This scene also adds levity to the otherwise gory slasher flick. Sure, the teen set up the comedic tone at the beginning, but his innocence and his excitement here also adds to it.
At number 3, I have the boat fire showdown. Thom Mathews is arguably the definitive Tommy Jarvis. He's probably the first guy people think of when you say the character's name. I had the pleasure of meeting Tommy Jarvis at both Frightmare at the Falls and Horrorama in Toronto.
The greatest Tommy Jarvis of all time, from the greatest fan favorite Friday the 13th film of all time,
Yes.
Mr. Tom Mathews. There we go.
So both times I was able to ask him a couple of questions. So I'll tell you some of the things he told me. For example, I asked about this scene in particular.
But I'll let him tell his own story, in his own words. So did you do, all your own underwater stunts for that final battle scene? Yeah? How long did it take to film
The only
that?
thing I didn't do was when Jason jumps up on the boat and we go underwater.
Okay.
That was the Mike Nomad. He's also in the movie. He's the one that gets the dart in the head. falls in the boat. That was my stunt guy.
That's cool.
The fire stuff, the stuff in the boat was fun. The underwater stuff was great. I'd never done that before. I mean, we were underwater for like 30 minutes at a time. There's 6 of us. I had a scuba diver and he would bring me up, give me oxygen, just tap your chest in between shots and stuff like that. And CJ had his own, and then the 2 camera guys were down there. So there were 6 of us in a pool, heated pool in the city of Industry. That underwater stuff was shot in 2 different pools, and then I think the third, maybe a third one at Tom's father's house, because they had to get all murky when Megan grinds his face.
Oh.
Here.
So how did you psych yourself up for the role?
I just look at the script, basically, and whatever, because you have a script, so there's an emotional attachment to it for the character. And unfortunately, we don't get to shoot it in chronologically, so you gotta kind of make your notes and just listen to the dialogue, and that kind of taps me into it, whatever's going on and what's happening. You gotta think about what's happened and what's going to happen, and just take it from there. But the dialogue really kind of dictates, usually, what's going on, what you're feeling.
Actually, as far as the Jason films go, don't see Jason X. I saw that. I remember on opening night, I went to the theater and I was the only person in the theater. And the guy, the usher, who usually tells you not to use your cell phones, he said, "Well, you can use your cell phone." Yeah, use your cell phone.
We want this to be bootleg, because
I was going to say, are you telling me that
somebody in China wants a copy of it.
I don't imagine anyone would really want a Jason X movie, because that pretty much was a franchise killer.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine why Jason in Space didn't do well.
The franchise is there's no consistency.
Right.
It was all over the place. And my theory was, whatever the big hit from another studio was, whether it was in space or whatever it was, they kind of trying to piggyback onto that audience without having any kind of continuity and stuff.
The epic conclusion of Part 6 is probably just as iconic as the opening scene. That's when Tommy Jarvis lures Jason out to the lake on a boat surrounded by fire in the final showdown, where Tommy Jarvis successfully cleans up the mess he made.
What a way to go, huh?
My daddy has a special treat for you. He's gonna let TJ tell his own story in his own words. All these clips are from his Q&A panel in Frightmare in the Falls in October. I'm so superstitious, I only make lumber puns. And why's that, darling? I never know when I might need to knock on wood. And I thought I had a headache before.
At number 2, I have tricking and killing Jason at the end of the final chapter, which is actually part 4 of 12. But anyways, it happens in horror. Said to be inspired by Tom Savini, it's established early on that young Tommy Jarvis loves monsters and practical effects makeup. So it makes perfect sense that he utilizes his strengths to outsmart and finish off Jason. He's tiny, but mighty.
Oh, a wise guy, eh? You think you're so tough, TJ? Let me at him. Let me at him. Meow, 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 meow.
Too bad Jason didn't stay dead, though. Thanks, Tommy. Oh, who am I kidding? I can't stay mad at you. You're just so awesome. Who can forget those gruesome gore effects when Jason does die? In my opinion, they're some of the best in the franchise. Some people just can't hack it.
Deeply disturbed, isn't he? I'm so lucky I'm a black cat. What an oxymoron, darling. Hey, I'm not a moron. No, you couldn't be moron. Oh, you're so sweet, Madame Matinee. Honestly, darling, you don't need to add more onto the pile. Okay. Now I'm confused.
At number 1, I have the Jason Lives lightning strike. You may have noticed I included this clip in my intro, and it's for good reason. Tommy Jarvis instigates the inciting incident of what most regard the best flick of the franchise. From the classic spooky atmosphere, set in a graveyard on a dark and stormy night, to the over-the-top comedic tone, to the references to the iconic Frankenstein's monster. Can you blame me for this being my favorite Tommy Jarvis moment?
It's alive!
I love the opening sequence. I mean, it just sets the tone for the movie, and it's just a great sequence before the credits even roll. So that was a lot of fun.
But then what was the atmosphere there like on set?
On the set, it was great. Tom, you know, it always trickles down. So he was unpulsed and unstressed. So it's a very casual shooting schedule and you know, environment.
Yeah, absolutely. He seemed to be like one of the kind of more intelligent directors, really, of the franchise.
Yeah, he's just easygoing too. You know, he's a huge horror fan, obviously, but just really easygoing. Even today, we still stay in touch. I see him at shows every once in a while.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about Jason? It's got to be. Oh, there's one right over there.
I got one. You think it was wise, because your quote is, Jason belongs in hell, I'm gonna make sure he gets there. So you dig him out, he's already there.
Yeah.
But you lose Horshack in the process.
Correct.
Was this a great idea, right?
No, it wasn't a good idea, and I told Kane he owes me a credit for his career from 7 on. For digging him up.
Horshack with what do you remember about him?
I was a fan of his, and you know, used to watch Welcome Back Kotter and stuff like that, and I saw the dailies, and that's what we filmed the day, and so you watch the dailies of the film, and there was some scenes in the dailies where the fist goes through his chest, the heart in the hand, he drops it, it bounces on the ground, it's a single of his heart bouncing. And then Jason comes by and steps on it. They didn't allow that in the movie because I guess it was too violent. It would have been cool though.
Yeah, it was getting pretty PG there by the time you got to part 6. No, by today's standards.
Yeah, well, they held Friday the 13th as you know, as the one to keep down because they got away with a lot of stuff. I guess there was a kid. We were filming in Covington, Georgia. And there was a kid that came up, and he was standing around. I said, hey, what's going on? He's like a 12-year-old kid. I said, can I help you? Because he was like looking around. He said, is Jason around? I said, I think he's like doing something. Can I help you with something? He goes, yeah, can you just tell him something? I said, sure. He goes, ask him if I leave my window open, will he come in and kill me tonight? True story. True story. So I think that's why the MBA was so hard on the movies. True story.
And that concludes my list for my top 5 Tommy Jarvis moments. What are some of your favorite moments by Tommy Jarvis? Let me know in the comments down below. Which is your favorite movie in the Tommy Jarvis trilogy is your favorite? I know it's a tough choice between 4 and 6, but I kind of have to lean towards 6.
What's your favorite Friday 13 film?
Oh, well, let me think about that. Part 6?
I think you meant to say other than part 6. Actually, how many of them have you seen all of them? Or?
I have seen up to 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that was sort of like part of your research, right? You needed to see this.
Well, up to 5 was part of my research.
Right.
I had to research myself.
All right. There was it.
And I saw Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, we did. And
There's a question right here.
I was curious, what was the first scene that you guys filmed for that movie? And after that, did you have a feeling that you were involved in something special?
Good question. The first scene, I have no idea. Don't remember. I was coming from a movie that Albert Pune and we were shooting down in Mexico called Down Twisted. So I left there on a Friday, traveled over the weekend, and started shooting on Monday. So it was just a grind. I don't remember the first scene. What was the other part of the question?
When you were filming it, did you get the sense that you had that you guys were doing something special with this one?
No idea.
Yeah.
Just happy to have a job. Yeah. Same with Return. Just happy to have a job.
But all these years later, does it surprise you at all that there's still such a...
Absolutely. It's just the momentum it still has. I mean, and Return of the Living Dead is such a classic. It's like a perfect movie. And Friday, of course, is a huge fan favorite. So who knew that we'd all be sitting in this room right now, 40 years later, well, except for you, because you weren't even born. Most of us. So it's pretty amazing.
And again, sorry it's late, but I explained why, and things are kind of hectic around here, so once things get calm again and she's starting to feel a bit better, I'll try and get back on schedule with my videos. Once again, happy Friday the 13th weekend. And hey, better late than never, right?
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Meow, 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 meow.
And remember, Jason always comes back. And so do I. Did you know that I'm a film critic for HorrorBuzz.com? You can read my reviews on their website. And I make frequent appearances on their YouTube channel, HorrorBuzz Live. So I'll leave links below for that too. You should check it out when you get a chance.
And I want to thank HorrorBuzz for giving me the opportunity to see these awesome conventions.
But nothing's ever as it seems. My time is coming, it's too late now to rewind. So let it go and open up your mind. Long live the terror in our home. A city full of men left behind in the darkness that eats me alone. Live the terror. A city full of
Okay, well, thanks for coming out, guys.
All right, guys,
Appreciate it.
thank you very
Thanks for
much.
hanging out.
Great.